I will share with you 10 do's and don'ts that have been distilled from either my personal experience or my experience as a mentor to many mentee companies as to what I have noticed, as to what are the typical pitfalls of a young budding entrepreneur like yourself when you embark on this journey, and some mistakes that people commonly make, which we have seen time and again in the Nurture program, which can be disastrous. And if you are mindful of those, I think they will stand you in good stead. The first, spend like a miser. If you are a Gujarati or a Marwadi, it's already in your blood. Otherwise, get somebody with that bent of mind in your team who restricts you from spending wildly at the beginning. Some of you have received a government grant or some seed money from some cousin, uncle, some well-wisher, a group of friends or something, and you suddenly feel rich because there is 25 lakhs in your bank account. उसको बचा के रखो, उसको फिक्स डिपॉजिट में डाल दो, let it accumulate interest. Maxim, and this has to do with your team and yourself. Everyone does everything. Last year I had a mentee company, and on the first meeting he said, this person is my technology officer, this is my marketing officer, this is my HR person. And my head started spinning. ये कंपनी तो नहीं चलने वाला है. इस तरीके से स्टार्टअप्स नहीं चलती. You may be the founder, you are also the guy who will make tea for everyone. Either you or one of your senior people will come in 15 minutes early and mop the floor. That's how startups work. This has to do with your USP. Who is your target audience and what are you trying to sell? A typical mistake is you try to appeal to the whole wide world and you end up appealing to no one. I remember 3-4 years ago, we had a mentee company building some kind of software on cyber security or something. And he said, this works for large companies, it works for medium enterprises, it works for small companies. And Rohit and I, who were the mentors, we said, it's obvious that it doesn't work for anyone. Number 4, innovate and do not imitate. Whether it is product, whether it is how you approach your market, how you contact customers, or any aspect of your business. Definitely see what others are doing, but try to tell yourself कि हम उस तरीके से नहीं करेंगे. When we were small as a paint company, I remember whenever we used to have a sales meeting of all our sales team at one place once a year, and we had open house on suggestions on various things, and usually the suggestion would start, sir, Asian Paints ऐसा कर रहा है या Berger ऐसा कर रहा है. And I used to always tell the team that don't start your suggestion with that. The moment you start your suggestion with that, a switch clicks in my mind and I start thinking to myself, I don't know what he's about to say, but जो भी बोल रहा है वो काम तो नहीं करेंगे. Swim against the tide. Let me elaborate. Normally when I talk about it, an example that I give, which I did not put it this time, is I show a public urinal at a public place like a food mall or a movie theater where there are 10 men's urinal, and you enter from the door and suppose they are all vacant and you have a choice between going to any of those 10, which one would you go to? Think in your mind, but whenever I have solicited answers, the answers are always number 3, number 6, number 9, number 2, number 5. Nobody says number 1, the first one. Entrepreneurship is not a beauty pageant, it's not a Miss India contest. Very often we meet mentees who are just enamored at the thought of appearing on Shark Tank on TV. Or today there are hundreds of contests around the country for the best startup. And they spend all their time in going and pitching at these startup contests, and they win awards also. About 7-8 years ago, there was a mentee company that I would not wish to name in our nurture program, who was a very celebrated, excellent idea, excellent execution, but he was just totally enamored and spent the whole year winning 10-15 startup awards in different parts of India, and he was bankrupt by the end of the year. This is another pitfall that I see a lot of the mentee companies. Do you know, हमें इतने followers आ रहे हैं Facebook में, इतने comments आ रहे हैं, the customer is engaging so much with me on Instagram, etc., etc. Now, maybe online marketing is critical to your business. I'm not saying don't do that. As long as you understand that that is a means to an end, it is not an end itself. The fact that you have 20,000 followers or 2 lakh followers doesn't mean a shit unless it converts into business. अगर धंधा मिल रहा है, कीजिए. धंधा नहीं मिल रहा है, then the thrill कि इतने followers हैं और इतना interaction हो रहा है and people are praising this, it doesn't mean a damn thing. But fundraising is not sexy. Chances are none of you people are fundable at this stage. And you probably will not be for the next 3-4 years by any stretch of imagination. If you have come to Nurture program thinking that this is a highway to get funding, drop out right now. This is not what Nurture is about. Fundraising will come much, much later. Share wealth to create wealth. Share wealth with whom? With your team. You're not going to get great people to work for you at this stage. Why would a really bright person come and join a startup where the salaries are low, there is no certainty as to when the salary is disbursed, the company is unheard of, the future is uncertain? किसकी किस्मत मारी गई है कि आपके पास आके काम करेगा? It will be very, very mediocre or below mediocre people who will work with you. Just remember one business rule. Everything in the world is negotiable. Don't ever be tight-gapped into thinking कि इस कंपनी का ये रूल है, यहाँ का ये रूल है, I have to live by those rules. If something in that rule does not suit your business and you can offer them a tweak to bend that rule, कि इसमें आपका भी इतना फायदा है, मेरा भी फायदा है, always think out of the box. Every rule can be broken. People who have a simple understanding of mathematics will understand this. When I say 1.01 to the power of 365, what I mean is that if every day you work 1% more than what you worked yesterday, then on the 31st December of that year, you will achieve 37.8 times what you achieved on the 1st of January. That's simply the power of compounding. And the reverse is unfortunately also true. If every day you did 1% less than what you did yesterday, then on the 31st January you will achieve only 3% of work that you achieved on the 1st of January. So this is not a life which is a bed of roses. It is a bed of every possible shape and size of thorns. It is tough, but it can be done. Just try to keep these 10 maxims that I have said and many more that will be distilled to you by your mentors and the Guru sessions in mind.